I think you're a good basketballer, darling. Ready? I did it!
Georgia Foster was 46 years old when she gave birth to triplets.
I always wanted to have children. I just assumed I'd meet somebody and we'd have a baby or babies.
But it wasn't until she was 43 that she met her partner Ian. After a miscarriage and several failed IVF attempts, Georgia travelled to Cyprus to see a specialist.
The IVF doctor said, look, because of your age, this is probably your last chance. So he said, we're going to put all 3 embryos in.
And presto, she was pregnant with triplets.
I was in shock, but I felt really blessed. And I just trusted that my body could carry these 3 babies.
Georgia gave birth to Hugh, Finn and Ollie.
I don't feel an older mum. I am definitely the oldest mum at the school gates. That is absolutely for sure.
In Australia, a quarter of all babies are born to women 35 or older. And over the past 20 or so years, those giving birth between the ages of 45 and 49 has almost quadrupled. Recently, Gordon Ramsay's wife Tana had their 6th child at the age of 49, the same age that Sonia Kruger gave birth to her daughter. Janet Jackson went one better with the birth of her son when she was 50.
So most 40-year-olds will need IVF intervention to get pregnant, and then by the time you're 45, it's close to 0 chance of getting pregnant naturally, and even if you do IVF, it's 1 in 100 chance.
Fertility specialist Dr. Lynn Burmeister.
After 45, a lot of women will need to seek donor eggs to have a baby.
And that's exactly what happened to Lisa McDonald.
I did always want to have children, and I always thought that I'd find the right person, settle down and have kids.
She didn't meet her husband David until she was 41, and the couple tried to start a family.
When I was 45, we had a natural pregnancy, and then at 9.5 weeks I started cramping and bleeding and had the miscarriage.
After 3 failed IVF attempts, it was crunch time.
After the 3rd attempt, we'd reached my 46th birthday, and legally in Victoria at that time, they wouldn't collect fresh eggs. So that was the end of the road to use my own eggs in order to conceive.
The couple travelled to Greece to seek a donor egg.
Our son was conceived on that first attempt in Greece.
We feel really blessed and grateful that we have Charlie. It was a big journey to get there, but the effort was well worth it.
Charlie is now 9 and well aware he wasn't delivered by a stork.
Charlie has a basic understanding of that. He understands that there's an egg and a sperm and a womb. It comes from a book. It's called Sometimes It Takes 3 to Make a Baby. That's my favourite one that I shared with him. And he always used to add in, and love.
However, there's a cautionary note to this story. Babies born to mothers over the age of 40 have a higher risk of genetic conditions like Down syndrome. Premature birth is more common, likewise caesarean delivery.
I think it's really important to create awareness to women that even in your 20s, maybe going off and getting a simple egg bank test. And then when you reach about 30, if you haven't met a partner, then maybe consider egg freezing at that point.
For younger women who really want to be a parent, freeze your eggs. Just go for it. Because ultimately you don't know what's going to happen. How did you go with your French today? Learn any new words you can teach me?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur.
The hardest thing about being an older mum is obviously aiming for longevity.
So proud of you.
My grandmother and grandfather both died in the hundreds, so I'm hoping I've got that gene pool.
Yay!
Just dropped 80 there.
It's hundreds.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
How good for these women, though, to finally get their happy ending.
Yeah.
I was 36 when I had my second baby, Harry, and I remember my doctor saying to me, it's geriatric pregnancy.
Which poor wording.
It's a terrible word for it, but
Don't
that's the
tell.
medical word for it,
It doesn't
right?
matter.
It's
When women are
terrible.
pregnant, don't say geriatric.
Not when you're
Please.
down, no, exactly. But I think what happens is career gets in the way, and you know, sometimes it's hard to find Mr. Right, and all of a sudden you realise, oh, this clock's ticking and I don't have a lot of time. I think the stats that we brought at the end of that story where we said that there are risks, I think women absolutely are aware of the risks and they know they're kind of fighting against the clock to get their happy ending, but it can happen.
Yeah.
Indeed, it can. It works out very well for some people.
Yeah, beautifully
Congratulations
so.
to them.